Ramaphosa is heading to Geneva in Switzerland today to start his duties as co-chair of the Global Commission on the Future of Work. President Ramaphosa was appointed earlier this month to co-chair the commission along with the Prime Minister of Sweden, Stevan Lofven. The commission was established by the United Nations International Labour Organization. For more on this, let us now cross live to our reporter Aldrin Sampear, who is in Switzerland for us this morning. Aldrin, a very, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming through. What is the task facing this commission?
Well, yes, good morning. Any moment from now, we expect President Cyril Ramaphosa to touch down here at the airport, where, of course, he will go freshen up and then start with all these all-important meetings with regards to the reports that have been compiled so far. A draft report will be discussed over the next 2 days, and after that, that report will be finalized, and eventually next year that report will be tabled. Of course, the report's tabling will come will coincide rather with the centenary celebration of the founding of the ILO, which is an organization that looks at worker rights as well. And this is an issue that this organization is facing, the Commission is facing, because there are these issues around technological advances that are taking place. And I was making an example in one of the inserts, for instance, is Uber. When Uber came in, it seems as though that government policies are not at an advanced stage with regards to Uber, then keeping up to speed with regards to the technological advances that are taking place currently. If you look at the construction industry as well, they're also affected by this, because you have all this technology that is taking place. For instance, some people would not have to fly over to conferences. They can do it through their own, through these technological advances that have been created. And this, of course, has a ripple effect. What then happens is that the hospitality industry is then affected. And if the hospitality industry is affected, it means that the construction industry is affected. And of course, this means that a lot of jobs are lost in between.
All right, Aldrin, as we said that President Ramaphosa was appointed to co-chair the commission with Sweden Prime Minister. Talk to us about their duties, really. What is expected from the two?
Well, as the two co-chairs, they will be sitting in all of these meetings that will be taking place. And as I've indicated, that there will be a report that is eventually compiled, a report that will come up with a set of recommendations. And yesterday, when I was sitting with the ambassador, she was saying that the nice thing about this report is that eventually when this report is tabled, it will be known as the Lofven Ramaphosa report. And that for her, she says, there is some sort of pride attached to it, because this report will not only affect Sweden, or will not only affect Switzerland, but will affect all 187 member states of the United Nations, and those who are members of the International Labour Organization. They will have to make sure that they adhere to some of these recommendations and probably conventions that will come out of this report that will be compiled. Of course, a report that will look into all other issues that are facing the labour industry as it is at the moment. Of course, there are issues around discrimination as well, discrimination around the wage gap between male and female. These are some of the things that they will also have to make sure that they look into, and how do governments make sure that they respond to these issues.
All right, and of course, the big story, Aldrin, really is the withdrawal of South Africa's ambassador from Israel. Did you perhaps get any response, maybe from the US ambassador, on that issue?
Well, I spoke actually to the United Nations permanent representative here, Ambassador about this, and she said that this was SA sending out a strong message to Israel that they are against these atrocities that are occurring in Israel on the Gaza border strip. They're also saying that, remember, that this is in line with a decision that has been taken by the ANC during its elective conference, where it said that it will reduce the embassy to a liaison office. And this is the response from South Africa. South Africa also supporting the call from various United Nations member states that there should be a commission of inquiry. And chances are that the Human Rights Council of the United Nations, once that proposal is made here in Geneva, then there is that push that South Africa will support that call, and the Human Rights Council will set up a commission of inquiry that will look into these atrocities that have been occurring. I see that the news indicating at this moment that the death toll has increasing all the way to around 58 as it stands at the moment. And of course, how does South Africa then respond to what has seemed to be a hostile relationship that is starting to occur between itself as well as the United States? Remember that the United States, also out of decisions being taken at the United Nations, have said that they will cut aid that it sent to various countries that vote against it, and one of those countries is South Africa. And South Africa, of course, has sent out a statement saying that their sovereignty is not up for sale, and if the United States want to use this aid to make sure that they convince South Africa to vote otherwise when it comes to various issues at the United Nations, it will amount to quote-unquote a bribe, and South Africa will not entertain that.
All right, Aldrin, we'll leave it at that, but surely our sister programs here on SABC News Channel 404 will touch base with you. Our reporter, Aldrin Sampear, live from Switzerland, and of course that is the wrap of our news here on Morning Live.